everybody, this is Francesco Abbruzzino with the Rant. Today I want to rant about the economic reality versus the fantasy land that this guy, President Obama, apparently seems to be living in today. You know, we got the first month of January behind us. 2016, January's gone. Expectations for economic growth remain one of the top concerns with the voters this election cycle, especially after the dive in the stock market. Most presidential candidates, they've laid out their plans, the direction they want to go in. Granted, I get it that the president is not responsible and doesn't run the economy, but he influences the economic policies, which is a key characteristic of his presidency. And more often than not, the president's success, or failure for that matter, are attributed to the lead in the nation's economic growth that we see. And economic growth has been scarce for the last 7 years. You know, Brock can get up there, he can boast otherwise, and he makes claims that aren't backed up by evidence. Just look at the GDP. This is the value of everything that we produce, folks. And it's shown that the economy has expanded just a paltry 0.7% last quarter, 2015. Yet some economists contend the economy is healthy, it's great, full recovery. Can you feel it? The overall picture of the economy is abysmal, especially when you compare it to the economic growth that we saw decades following World War II. And essentially, we have suffered a lost decade. A lost decade, at least by our American standards. From World War II to 2005, the U.S. economy grew an average of 3.5%. That was the norm, but not in Obama's America. No, it's changed. No, in his America, it's at 3%. And it may not seem like that much of a difference, but it is. The difference is between a $21 trillion economy or a $23 trillion economy. A significant difference, folks. This is the economic reality we face. In addition to poor growth, there's additional indicators that the economy was not fully recovered and that we have a long way to go. Recall back in December, Federal Reserve, they raised our rates on us for the first time in 9 years. They did this under pressure, saying that the economy was recovering, even though all indicators indicated this would be a mistake. The stock market, which is a barometer of economic confidence, was taking a hard hit. We've all felt it. And likely, at least part because of this rate hike that we saw out there. Yet, there is talk that the Federal Reserve may raise rates again. Despite all the evidence out there that the economy is weaker, not stronger, that our growth has remained stagnant, not expanded, that there is enormous economic uncertainty out there among the American people and businesses. But Obama refuses to acknowledge this or to accept the blame. Instead, he'll go out, he'll do a weekly address or a State of the Union, and he'll brag about it. He's confident about the future. Forget that government spending is exploding. Forget the national debt's exploding. Forget about the government takeover of healthcare's increases prices. Or our corporate tax rate is driving companies overseas. As the 2016 primaries are now underway, every voter needs to consider and ask the following questions. Do we want to continue down Obama's path of socialist policies that have resulted in the ruin of America? If the answer is yes, then you want to vote for Hillary or Bernie. Or do we want to halt the socialist policies of Obama and prevent the destruction of America's economy? If your answer is yes to this one, folks, then the choice is equally clear. Vote for the candidate that best understands our God-given rights. Free market principles, folks. Limited government. That doesn't mean government all over and all of our business. And who has the track record for lowering taxes, and who will get out there and reduce regulation, not increase it. This is the stuff you got to look at. This has been Francesco Abbruzzino with another Rogue Rant.